Hello fans, collectors, investors. Welcome back to Iconic Baseball. Iconic Al here. And I have been looking forward to making this video for a very long time. And I figured given a couple big pre-war autograph pickups at this year's National, this is the right time to do it. And so I got my entire pre-war collection out, about 58 pieces in total. And I'm gonna run through my entire pre-war collection as it stands today, September 2025. And I'm basically gonna go from the bottom up, countdown style. And I have 26 pre-war players on my top 100. And I'm not counting guys like Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, Bob Feller, or Satchel Paige, because although they did play during the pre-war era, partially, the items that I have for those players are not pre-war items. They're more golden age. So I would group them more into the golden age for my purposes, for my countdown. But so I have 26 players that I'm gonna run from the bottom up. I'm gonna basically announce them and their iconic ranking on my list, maybe briefly introduce them and what their WAR was and stuff like that, but I'm gonna be very brief. This is not one where I'm gonna turn over every card and examine and get microscopic with my analysis or anything like that. What I wanna just do is document my collection, my pre-war stuff, as it stands today. I'm very proud of it. It's something I've been working on for 3 decades, since I started first picking up pre-war stuff when I was in high school. So it's a labor of love. It's probably the part of my collection I'm the most proud of. And without any further ado, here's my entire pre-war collection.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Okay, going from the bottom to the top, we start with number 85 on my top 100, a fellow iconic Al, Mr. Al Simmons, a fantastic outfielder. This is my 1934 Diamond Stars. A beautiful card. A guy who amassed 68.5 WAR, hit .334 for a career, with 2 World Series championships, Mr. Al Simmons. My collection is not yet complete for Al Simmons, as I still need an autograph. So that's one of the targets probably in the next year or two. I'm looking for a nice slabbed autograph of Al Simmons. And as soon as I procure that autograph of Al Simmons, my collection for Al Simmons will be complete. Next up, number 79 on the top 100, Mr. Charley Gehringer. This is my 38 Gowdy, heads up, an ad from last year. A nice example of that card. And a 2.5 with the scribbles. A beautiful set from the playing days. And then one of my favorite signed baseballs, a beautiful sweet spot, Chaz Gehringer, the Mechanical Man. A great inscription there. And that is on a Bobby Brown American League Baseball. Just a beautiful signature. Some of the best penmanship you'll see from the pre-war era. My collection for Charles Gehringer is complete. Number 78 on the countdown is Carl Hubbell. This is my 34 batter up, playing days, Carl Hubbell. Such a cool set, such a cool image. These were supposed to be popped out, but this one somehow survived. One of the great left-handed pitchers of all time. Carl Hubbell had a 68.5 WAR. Here's a nice Carl Hubbell signed baseball, has some age to it. And that's on a Feeney National League ball. Definitely a little grizzled, but I like it. And then this is a post-playing days 61 Fleer, signed Carl Hubbell. Beautiful signature on that one. Little nicer, earlier signature, as you can see, than the baseball. But my Carl Hubbell collection is complete. And number 77 on the countdown, Mr. Henry Benjamin Greenberg. This is a 1936 Gowdy. Beautiful card. Great portrait shot of Hank Greenberg. The Hebrew Hammer. a war hero. And I just love this set. And then my post-playing days autographed card is a 41 play ball reprint. And I just love the signature, the eye appeal of that card. And Hank Greenberg autographs seem to be getting a little harder to come by. But that's just a nice reprint autograph of Hank Greenberg. Such a prolific offensive player. 55.5 WAR, career batting average of .313, a 1.017 OPS. Just such a prolific power threat. And my collection for Hank Greenberg is complete. Coming in at number 69 on the top 100, Mr. Gordon Mickey Cochrane. Mickey Cochrane was the greatest catcher of the pre-war era. He compiled 49.8 WAR, a 3-time MVP, and 3-time World Series champion. And this is a beautiful DeLong, such a great set. And the Gehrig goes for crazy money, so my entrance into the DeLong set came via Mickey Cochrane. Just a great shot there. And then earlier this year, I was able to pick up a beautiful Cochrane autographed index card. Sent that to PSA myself and ended up getting a 9 on that. So my collection for Mickey Cochrane is complete. Next up, number 68 on the top 100, Mr. Paul Waner. Great Pirates outfielder. Compiled a 74.7 WAR, hit .333 for a career, and just a beautiful Gaudy here. 33 Gaudy, beautiful red background, great centering, great color. And just a good, honest pre-war card from that iconic 33 Gaudy set. And this one's kind of hard to show here, but this is a booklet of Paul Waner's batting secrets. It was sold to kids for 50 cents back in the day. Has maybe 12 pages or so in there. And then the reverse was autographed by Mr. Paul Waner. Looks like he personalized that to a Lewis. But really cool piece. Good, honest autograph of Paul Waner. Get the flip in here. And my collection for Paul Waner is complete. Jumping to number 49 in the top 100, now we were in the top 50. Owner of a 91.2 WAR, Mr. Eddie Plank. One of the great pitchers of all time. And this is my only piece for Eddie Plank. It's a E91B American Caramel from 1909. Just a really cool card. I think it's charming. Very childlike pose for Eddie Plank. This is a player that I will not be targeting an autograph for because they generally go in the 5 figures. Extremely, I think, unattainable for most collectors, extremely rare. And he's one of the 5 players on my top 100 that I will not be targeting an autograph for. I may instead target a secondary card to pair with this card. So that will remain to be seen what my secondary Eddie Plank card will be at some day in the future. Coming in at number 47 on the top 100, Mr. Charles Kid Nichols. A 116.3 career WAR. He was the greatest pitcher of the 1800s. I do not have a playing days item or an autograph for Kid Nichols, which that is probably my biggest goal now for the next year or two, is to chip away to get a Kid Nichols card from the 1800s and or an autograph for Kid Nichols, because they're both, I think, somewhat attainable. It's going to take some saving and some hunting and some searching, but here's what I have just to represent Kid Nichols here on this video is a 1961 Fleer. Post-playing days, obviously. And this is an example of a Kid Nichols card that I would like to find an authentic example of. This is a Mayo's cut plug from the 1800s. This is a reprint from 1986. But I would love to find something like this in, authentic condition from the 1800s. That would be an amazing add for my collection, as well as a Kid Nichols autograph. So that is a player that I do not have any playing days or autographed item of. So big goal for me going forward is to fill that void for Kid Nichols. Number 46 on the top 100 countdown, Mr. Shoeless Joe Jackson. This is my sole piece for Shoeless Joe Jackson. I consider these types of cards playing days, and most people don't, but I do, and I'll tell you why. Because this contains an actual piece of a game-used bat from Shoeless Joe Jackson. So in a literal way, this is a playing days card because it has a piece of playing days material from that player. So in my mind, it deserves to be shown on this video. Just a beautiful card, one that I submitted to Beckett a year or two ago, and just an awesome piece. I will not be targeting a Shoeless Joe autograph for obvious reasons. They go into the six figures, so that's out of my realm. But I will be targeting a 1940 play ball. That is high on my list of, acquisitions that I hope to make in the next 5 years or so. Obviously, it's not a cheap card, but I want that to be my representative from the 40 play ball set in my collection. And I also want it to be my, pre-war Joe Jackson card in my collection. So that is a big goal for me going forward into the future. Coming in at number 42 on the countdown, the controversial Cap Anson. I made a whole video on this exact card about a week ago, so feel free to check that video out after this. But this is an 1889 MF Tobin lithograph in the Baby Talk series featuring a crying baby image of Cap Anson, Mr. Baby Anson, as he's referred to there, from the Tobin lithograph series from 1889. I just love it. It's a trade card used to promote some Dr. Friend's cough balsam. So it's a trade card for basically promoting a cough syrup. So love that card. I will be having it graded probably in the next year or so. But that is the oldest item in my collection. And I think a fitting image for a man that refused to play against black players. My collection for Cap Anson is complete. Next up, number 41 on the top 100, the great Josh Gibson. Now the owner of multiple MLB records, including a 373 batting average, a 1.176 OPS, and a 214 OPS plus. Obviously, Josh Gibson does not actually have any pre-war cards. Autographs are non-existent. So these are the items that I will choose to show. They are legit relics. Now this one is just a piece of a seat from Forbes Field, which I think is immensely cool, being from Pittsburgh. This is a actual seat that they took from Forbes Field. I just like the image of Josh Gibson on this card, and gives me a little nostalgia for Pittsburgh. And then the big boy is this card from 2022, Topps Tier 1. This is a legit Josh Gibson bat relic. So legit playing days bat relic, numbered to 99 from his playing days. So honored to own this. There's so scant material, meaningful material that one can own for Josh Gibson, that I think pieces like this will continue to gain prominence and gain value over time, because there just aren't many of them. And they aren't really being created anymore. I don't see them chipping up any more Josh Gibson bats going forward. So really honored to own this one. So those are my two pieces for the great Joshua Gibson. And I consider my Gibson collection complete. Next up, to number 27 on the top 100, the great Grover Alexander. This is my playing days 1928 W502 Grover Alexander. This is a blank back version, very similar to those ice cream cards that they came out with during that same year. And just a great image of Alexander rearing back to unleash a pitch. One of the great pictures of his or any era at 119.7 WAR. Just a legendary career. He did not live a long life, which makes this piece that much more special to me. One that I acquired at this past year's National, and I couldn't be happier or more honored to own it. It's a beautiful Grover Alexander autograph to pair with my playing days 1928-502. My collection for Grover Alexander is complete. Coming in at number 26 on the top 100, Mr. Eddie Collins, one of the greatest second basemen of all time. A 124.2 WAR, a legendary player. This is my playing days, 1909, E95, Philadelphia Caramel, Eddie Collins. And what a glorious image, what a glorious portrait. Love that deep red color. Very youthful image. Little caramel staining on the back, which is fantastic. And then to pair with that, here is my masterpiece of a Eddie Collins autograph. I mean, look at that penmanship. Unbelievable. You can tell he went to Columbia. So look at the penmanship. It's amazing. So that is my Eddie Collins autograph. So my collection for Eddie Collins is complete. Okay, now to number 21 on the top 100, Mr. Napoleon Lajoie, owner of a 106.9 WAR, one of the greatest hitters and second baseman in baseball history. This is a 1910 E93 standard caramel of Napoleon Lajoie. And I just love this card. The throwing image. Looks old, looks beat up, looks just as it should. A beautiful playing era card from Lajoie's playing prime. I'm very honored to pair that with a beautiful Lajoie autograph, one that he signed later in his life, obviously. Looks like he answered a fan who sent him a postcard requesting an autograph back in 1957, it looks like. Signed it with best wishes, Larry Lajoie, which is how he always signed. You can see this postcard went out to Mr. Lajoie in hopes of coming back with the autograph on it. So my collection for Napoleon Lajoie is complete. To number 20 on the top 100, Mr. Mel Ott. This is my playing days Mel Ott, a 1941 play ball. It's a beautiful, honest copy of that card. Melvin Thomas Ott, one of the greatest outfielders of all time, at a 111 WAR. I think still such an underrated pre-war player. This is my Mel Ott autograph. Tough autograph. They don't grow on trees. I'm very, very honored to have one. Just a basic index card signed by Mr. Ott. And then finally, a really nice relic from the 2001 SP Legendary Cut set that came back at 10. So to this day, I believe it's still a Pop 1, the only card of its kind to have graded a 10. And that's a piece from Mel Ott's Game Used Bat. So my collection for Mel Ott is complete. Next up, number 18 on the top 100, by the numbers, the greatest left-handed pitcher in baseball history. My playing days, Lefty Grove, is the 1934 Goudey. A beautiful image from the Lou Gehrig Says series, 1934 Goudey. Just a beautiful pre-war baseball card of the greatest lefty of all time. And here we have a signed photo postcard for Lefty Grove, showing him with the Boston Red Sox. The postcard was probably signed sometime in the 60s or 70s. But I love the image. And then here's a post-playing days card from the 1961 Fleer set, signed twice by Lefty Grove. Not sure why, or what prompted that double signature from Mr. Lefty Grove, but I think it's pretty cool. So there we have 3 Lefty Grove autographs. Needless to say, my Lefty Grove collection is complete. To number 17 on the top 100, Mr. Jimmy Fox, XX. The Beast. This is my playing days, 35 Diamond Stars, Jimmy Fox, shown here as a catcher. An image you don't see very often. A beautiful pre-war card here. one that I've had with me for probably close to 30 years. It's one of the earliest ones I picked up when I was getting into pre-war. And here's my Jimmy Fox autograph. Beautiful sweeping autograph across an index card here with a nice little newspaper photo of Jimmy Fox. Designates him as the AL MVP in 32. And then a little bonus card here, a game-used bat relic for Jimmy Fox. My collection for Jimmy Fox is hereby complete. Okay, now we're really getting places. To number 14 on the top 100, the great Christy Mathewson. My crowning card for Christy Mathewson is this glorious 1911 T205 sweep cap Christy Mathewson portrait. Just a beautiful card in every respect. By a large margin, my favorite Mathewson image in the hobby. So honored to have that card in my collection from his playing prime. That would have come out of a sweet cap cigarette pack, much like this. I have a couple of these cigarette packs in my collection that I pick up when I can, when I see a good deal on one. I'm trying to get a Piedmont one, but I still have yet to find one in, reasonable shape and a reasonable price. And then this is a really great double take image from that same period, same image, repeated on this 1909 S74 silk. Beautiful, just a beautiful image, and kind of a miraculous thing to still have in existence in the world. And then last but not least, the 1920 strip card. 1920 W522 hand-cut strip card for Mathewson. And the reason I chose to have a few Mathewson pieces here is because he's one of those guys that I will not be targeting an autograph for. His signatures go in excess of 5 figures, so again, it would carry an outsized portion of my collection, to where I'd much rather just have, a few nice Mathewson pieces, period pieces. He's one of the 5 that I will not be targeting an autograph for. So, my collection for Christy Mathewson is complete. Continuing our lap around the inner circle, to number 13 on the top 100, Mr. Tris Speaker. This is my 1922 American Caramel of Tris Speaker. Nice hitting image there, designated as the center fielder for the Cleveland Americans. This is the small projection variety in the American Caramel set. Oop. Yeah, really nice back on that one. I like when everything is legible. And to pair with that, a glorious Speaker autograph. Owner of a 134.9 WAR, one of the most prolific offensive players of all time. Also a pretty darn good arm in the outfield. Still holds the record for doubles. And my Tris Speaker collection is complete. On to number 10 on the top 100, the greatest second baseman in baseball history, Mr. Rogers Hornsby. Here is my playing days Hornsby, the 33 Gowdy. Great shot of him perched at the opening of the dugout there. Just looks as it should. A 127.3 WAR. That Gowdy will pair with pretty much a perfect autograph from Mr. Hornsby. Such an honor to have these pre-war autographs in my collection. So my collection for Rogers Hornsby is complete. Next up, number 8 on the top 100, the great Honus Wagner. Here's my coaching days. We can't all have playing days cards of Honus Wagner, so I chose to own a coaching days card of Honus from the 1949 Leaf set. Just really a lovable image of him about to shove some tobacco into his mouth. I just love it. I think it's a beautiful copy of the card. And it's my sole representative from that 48-49 Leaf set. The greatest shortstop in baseball history, the Flying Dutchman. And here is my Honus autograph, really nicely mounted on a, on an album page. A very bold signature, very flowing. Probably signed around that time when he was a coach. Probably sometime in the late 30s, early 40s. My collection for Honus is complete. Okay, climbing up to number 7 on the top 100, Mr. Lou Gehrig. My playing days Gehrig is a 1931 W517 hand cut card. This would have come in a strip of 3. And I just love the smiling image of Mr. Gehrig. And I'm just so honored to have a playing days piece for Gehrig. Blink back, but a clean back. And my bonus piece for Gehrig is a really nice true bat relic from a game-used Gehrig bat. This came out in 2003, a set called Gallery Artifacts, or Artifact Relics. I think it's a really beautiful set, underrated. That does verify that this came from a game-used Lou Gehrig bat. And one of the pieces I still aspire to own is a Lou Gehrig autograph. So one of these days, it'll be one that I might have to really move some things around, hobby-wise, financially, but an aspirational piece for me is I would like to add a Gehrig autograph one of these days to add to these 2 Gehrig items of mine. So that's something for me to strive for in the future. On to number 5 on the top 100, the great Walter Johnson, the greatest pitcher in baseball history, a 167.8 WAR. This is a really nice copy of this T207 tobacco card. Kind of portrays him as a vampire-looking figure, which I actually like. And this would have been found in Recruit Little cigars and would have been distributed in a package much like this one. This is a period Recruit Little cigar package. Here it says 10 little cigars. But yeah, these cards would have been distributed in a package much like this. And my big pickup at the National this year was an autograph of none other than Walter Johnson. So that was my big ad this year, a monumental piece for the collection. Such an important ad. And as of this ad, my Walter Johnson collection is complete. Number 4 on the top 100 is the great Tyrus Raymond Cobb, owner of a 151.4 WAR, a legendary figure in baseball history. And this is my all-time favorite Cobb card. A little bit post-playing days, but I just love this pre-war set. It's the Gaudy Sport Kings gum set. And what a cool image of Cobb. Just a good, honest copy of that card. And then hiding in the back here, an autograph that I've had for 25 years is my Cobb signed bank check. Again, from later in his life, but all made out in his hand, on his stationery, on his Cobb check, and containing a really nice green pen Cobb signature. And then last, and also kind of least, my Cobb bat relic. I've talked about this set enough. Everyone knows I love it, but hey, a piece of bat from a game-used Cobb playing days bat. I mean, that's pretty cool. So that is my Cobb collection, and it is complete. And coming in at number 3 on the iconic Top 100, the great Denton True Cy Young. The most iconic and recognizable pitcher in baseball history, with the highest WAR and the most wins of any pitcher in baseball history. This is my T206 bare hand shows, Piedmont, and I just love it. It is a perfect baseball card. And that pairs with last year's national pickup, a beautiful Cy Young autograph. It's actually on the back of a letter. The letter is folded, but yeah, just such an iconic piece. Such an important man and player in the annals of baseball history, and I'm honored to have it. And my collection for Cy Young is complete. And now, number 1 on the Top 100, the great Bambino, Mr. Babe Ruth. This is my Playing Days Ruth, a 1923 W515 portrait, beautiful line caricature of Mr. Babe Ruth. And I absolutely love this card. The color, the presentation. The moment I saw it, I knew it was my Babe Ruth. It's actually kind of hard to find these hand-cut cards with a numerical grade, but I'm happy to have it. From his playing prime, arguably from his greatest season, also from the year Yankee Stadium was constructed. There's just so much going on with this card, but I love it. And here is my Ruth relic from a game-used bat. Such a cool piece. One of only, I believe, 3 gem-graded copies of this card in existence. Back when the relics actually were relics of some meaning. But so cool to have a connection to Babe Ruth via a piece of his bat. Immensely cool to me. And similar to Gehrig, I do aspire to acquire a Babe Ruth autograph someday. So that's definitely on the long-term plan. Obviously, it'll take time, saving, probably moving of assets, but yeah, I do aspire to add an autograph to these 2 pieces to round out my Ruth collection at some point in the future. And just to be complete, because I did say I'm showing my entire pre-war collection, I have a sub-collection outside of my Top 100 where I'm trying to acquire a meaningful card of every Pirates Hall of Famer. We'll start with this one being the first pre-war card I ever owned. This is a T206 of Hall of Famer Fred Clark. He was the manager of the 1909 World Series Championship Pirates. He was the manager for Hannes Wagner. And just a cool image here, holding the bat. I've just always been entranced by that card since I was probably 12, 13 years old. This is a Piedmont back. That sort of checks the Fred Clark box in my collection. Next up, we have Pie Traynor, the greatest third baseman in Pirates history and the greatest third baseman of his era. I think most people recognized him as the greatest third baseman of all time at that point. If you think of all the great third basemen in baseball, I mean, they all came after Pie Traynor. So at the time Pie Traynor played, he was regarded as the GOAT, the third base GOAT. And anyone at that time would have regarded him as the GOAT. 320 career hitter, really outstanding defense. And this is a really cool Yuenglings ice cream release with a little message on the back, save these pictures. One of my all-time favorite cards, to be quite honest. Being a lover of Yuengling, there's an old pull tab Yuengling can that I like to keep in my Beerabilia collection. And yeah, just an awesome image of Pie Traynor, the Hall of Fame Pirate. And then here we have a nice portrait image of Lloyd Waner. By almost anyone's standards, a lower tier Hall of Famer, but nonetheless, he is a Hall of Famer. And this is my sole representation from the 39 play ball set. And really just a beautiful image of Little Poison, his brother being Big Poison. And there are still 2 pre-war Pirates that I'm looking to acquire a card for, and they are Max Carey and Arky Vaughan. So I'm looking to acquire a 1914 or 15 Cracker Jack Max Carey and a 1936 Worldwide Gum Arky Vaughan. So those are still on the top of my list in terms of my Pirates Hall of Fame collection, because I'd like to have representation from those 2 sets in particular, because they're very difficult sets. So I'm looking out for those at future shows and nationals and eBay. And so, you know, if anyone has these cards or comes across these cards and has access to a 14-15 Cracker Jack Max Carey or a 36 Worldwide Gum Arky Vaughan, those are 2 cards I am looking out for. So yeah, keep me posted. Those are cards that I plan on adding in the future. All right, well, that pretty much wraps up my entire pre-war collection. I hope this wasn't too long for anybody, but yeah, I really made this video for myself and my own sort of documentation purposes, insurance purposes, kind of having everything organized and grouped into player by player, because I don't store it necessarily that way in my collection. So it was really fun to do this, and I appreciate anyone who tuned in and enjoyed it. Well, until next time, everyone, keep collecting and stay iconic.